Look at your blood. For decades, the narrative of modern medicine has been built on a simple idea that while our faces and our languages change, our blood is the same. We assumed that blood types A, B, O, and AB were just another set of labels, inconsequential, just a system to save a life during a transfusion. But when modern geneticists began to sequence the hidden codes inside our plasma, they found something that fractured the monolithic definition of humanity. They found a border, a sharp, biologically distinct line that divides the human race. And it has nothing to do with whether your blood is type A or type O. It is about whether your blood is positive or negative. The Rh factor, the presence or absence of a specific protein named after the rhesus monkey where it was first identified. 85% of the global population is Rh positive. They are essentially considered biologically standard. But the remaining 15%? The 15% who are Rh negative. They are the true biological anomaly. When you look into their blood, you do not see the standard marker of rhesus macaques. You see a genetic absence. It is a biological ghost. The origins of the Rh negative factor are shrouded in a dense scientific fog. It seems to have appeared out of nowhere. It is found in concentrated pockets among the most mysterious ancient peoples on Earth. And throughout history, it has unleashed a terrifying evolutionary reaction when standard humanity meets the standard absence. Is this alien blood a tattered tendu of a lost species? Or the ultimate genetic adaptation for survival? Today, we are venturing into the bloodstream of the anomalies. We will track down the ghosts of the Pyrenees, decode the biological war inside the womb, and reveal the true mysterious origins of Rh negative DNA. If you are ready to read the code that divides our race, hit that subscribe button. You are watching Lost Origins.
The Rh factor and the missing protein. To understand this biological border, we have to go back to the standard baseline. What exactly is the Rh factor? It's not a secret, it's a simple protein found on the surface of your red blood cells. Genetically, if you inherit this protein, you are Rh positive. Your immune system has a label for it, and it functions perfectly fine within the wider human gene pool. But if you do not inherit this protein, your red blood cells are blank. You are Rh negative. And this blank slate has profound evolutionary consequences. Imagine two people, one Rh positive, one Rh negative, standing side by side. You cannot tell the difference. They are both modern humans, with the same brains and the same bodies. But if you were to mix their blood in a petri dish, you would witness a biological war. If an Rh negative body receives Rh positive blood, its immune system treats the positive protein as a hostile foreign invader. It creates a cascade of aggressive antibodies designed to destroy every single foreign red blood cell. It is a rapid, often lethal rejection. This immune reaction is not rare, and it doesn't just happen during transfusions. It happens in the most sacred space of human life, the womb. For millennia, human history has been haunted by a condition known as hemolytic disease of the newborn. Imagine a mother with Rh negative blood who is pregnant with an Rh positive child. The mother's body, standard human biology, does not see a new life. Its immune system sees an antigen that it cannot tolerate. During pregnancy or birth, some of the baby's blood can enter the mother's bloodstream, and just like during a transfusion, her body launches an aggressive antibody attack designed to target and destroy the foreign cells. This attack can be so overwhelming that it decimates the developing fetus, leading to miscarriages, stillbirths, or severe neurological damage in the baby. This is the central paradox. A biological standard human body is programmed to aggressively reject its own offspring if that offspring carries the protein that 85% of the world has. This antibody war has historically limited the reproduction and spread of Rh negative genes. It feels unnatural. It feels like an evolutionary flaw. It feels as if Rh-negative people were not intended to exist. So how did this negative signal even begin? What kind of random mutation or ancestral connection could create a blank slate that the rest of humanity instinctively tries to wipe out? The ancient clusters and the Pyrenees ghosts. The map of human ancestry is rarely evenly distributed, and the map of the Rh-negative factor is perhaps the most imbalanced genetic map in the world. If we look at much of the world, Africa, the Americas, Australia, and Eastern Asia, the Rh-negative factor is incredibly rare, often appearing in less than 2% of the population. They are true outliers. Tianyuan man near Beijing, 40,000 years ago, or the ancient hunter-gatherers of the Amazon rainforest were overwhelmingly Rh positive. The Rh-negative factor is a quintessentially Eurasian trait. It is a regional signature, and its true epicenter, its glowing genetic ground zero, is a single mysterious location, the Basque region, straddling the Pyrenees Mountains between modern-day Spain and France. The Basque people are one of the greatest anthropological enigmas on Earth. Linguistically, they speak Euskara, a language isolate. It is not Indo-European. It has no known relation to any other language on the planet. Culturally, they have maintained a distinct identity for millennia, and biologically, their blood is a time capsule. Up to 35% of the Basque population is Rh-negative, by far the highest concentration in the world. They are the modern guardians of a ghost lineage that the rest of humanity wiped out or absorbed everywhere else. But where did they get it from? To understand the Basque ghosts, we have to go back to the aftermath of the Ice Age. Thousands of years ago, as the ice sheets were retreating from the northern hemisphere, a group of ancient hunter-gatherers migrated north to follow the melting ice. They were tough, they were survivors, and they established themselves in small, isolated communities across Western and Central Europe. These were the Western hunter-gatherers, the same blue-eyed, dark-skinned survivors who carried the original mutation for blue eyes. The genetic evidence points to a stunning new theory. The Western hunter-gatherers did not just carry blue eyes, they were the primary reservoir, the original genetic home of the Rh-negative factor. While much of Africa and the East remained Rh positive, a profound genetic divergence occurred deep in the heart of prehistoric Europe. This mutation, or perhaps a lost human lineage that was absorbed exclusively by these hunter-gatherers, created the blank genetic template of the Rh-negative blood. When the Great Agricultural Replacement began 7,000 years ago, and light-skinned farmers from Anatolia swept through Europe, they were overwhelmingly Rh positive. They replaced the hunter-gatherers' DNA across much of the continent, but in the inaccessible fortress of the Basque Mountains, a ghost population survived. It preserved the original blue-eyed, dark-skinned phenotype and the mysterious, antibody-provoking Rh-negative bloodline. They were the true pioneers, the first Europeans. But if they were the first, why did their DNA disappear everywhere else? The Great Absorption and the Plague. Hack history is rarely peaceful. It is a story of survival, competition, and replacement. When the light-skinned farmers from Anatolia met the dark-skinned, blue-eyed hunter-gatherers in Europe, the result was a demographic overwhelming. The newcomers outnumbered the original coastal settlers. Over generations, the descendants of the Rh-negative first wave were absorbed, outcompeted, or entirely replaced. But we know from previous Lost Origins documentaries that the peopling of Europe was not a single event. It was not one group of people walking backward through time. A third, violent migration from the steppe, the Yamnaya warlords, also flooded the continent, bringing additional light skin markers and the ability to drink raw milk. And crucially, these later migrations were also overwhelmingly Rh positive. So we have this antibody war. An Rh-negative mother rejects an Rh-positive child. Throughout prehistory, this limited the spread of the negative genes. If the Rh-negative first wave was being demographically overwhelmed by incoming fertile Rh-positive farmers and warriors, how did the negative signal even survive in 15% of the population? If it's an evolutionary flaw that causes your body to reject its own offspring, wouldn't it have been entirely erased from the gene pool by now? This is the biological paradox that forces us to look in the mirror and completely rethink what we know about human adaptation. Evolution does not make mistakes. If a trait survives for thousands of years, it is because it provides a massive, invisible advantage. The antibodies are not a defect, they are a weapon. The immune system of an Rh-negative person, as we've seen, is hyper-aggressive. It creates a cascade of aggressive antibodies designed to destroy every single foreign cell. But while this aggression is deadly to the fetus, it may have been the ultimate genetic shield against humanity's greatest killers. Think of the plague, the Black Death that devastated Europe. Think of smallpox or malaria. A hyper-aggressive immune system can be lethal to its own child, but it is incredibly efficient at detecting and destroying foreign pathogens before they can take root. There is an increasing body of scientific theories suggesting that Rh-negative people possessed a powerful natural immunity, a genetic shield, against certain catastrophic diseases that wiped out standard Rh-positive populations. In prehistory, the trade-off was brutal. An Rh-negative woman faced a 50% chance of losing her child to an antibody war, but she was significantly more likely to survive a massive plague or environmental shift. In an era where survival was not guaranteed, being able to withstand a plague was a game-changing adaptation. The impossible DNA of Rh-negative blood was natural selection on fast forward. It was not a flaw, it was a high-stakes compromise, forged in the biological energy crisis of prehistory, where the aggressive antibodies of the immune system protected the adult but sacrificed the offspring. Tianyuan man near Beijing 40,000 years ago, or the ancient hunter-gatherers of the Amazon rainforest had maximum protection from the sun, but zero defense against the emerging viruses of global trade. The negative signal, preserved in a few isolated pockets like the Basque, acted as a biological life raft for humanity. But what about the truly bizarre theory? Did they inherit this DNA from a lost, perhaps otherworldly lineage? The Nephilim theory and the alien code? When science hits a dead end, mystery fills the void, and there is perhaps no greater mystery magnet in human genetics than the Rh-negative factor. There are plenty of conspiracy theories and spiritual groups that look at this impossible genetic absence, this automatic antibody war, and the strange high-altitude adaptations of the Zagros goat herders or the Denisovan superpower, and they reach a stunning, mind-bending conclusion. They argue that Rh-negative people are not just adapted humans, they are not Homo sapiens, they are a different species entirely, whose lineage has been interwoven with our own through centuries of chaotic migrations and ancient blending. The theory goes by many names: the alien bloodline, the Anunnaki connection, or, for the biblically inclined, the Nephilim. The book of Genesis in the Old Testament describes a strange and ancient event. The Nephilim were in the earth in those days, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The Nephilim were described as massive, powerful, high-functioning hybrids. The conspiracy theory argues that the Rh-negative factor is the physical tattered code, the genetic signature, of this Nephilim bloodline. They are described as having the traits of the high-functioning hybrids, a higher degree of intuition, lower than average body temperature, hyper-aggressive, hyperactive immune systems that standard humanity cannot dilute. The antibody rejection, they argue, is not an accident. It is the biological marker of two separate species attempting to blend in a single womb. Did ancient humans interbreed with a technologically advanced, perhaps otherworldly species tens of thousands of years ago? Did they inherit a complex, antibody-provoking genetic and technological code that standard human biology cannot sequence or tolerate? The short answer is, there is zero peer-reviewed, reputable scientific evidence to support this theory. The analysis of ancient DNA sequencing from the Tianyuan man to the Yamnaya warlords and the ghosts hiding in Ethiopian or Amazonian DNA has confirmed one profound reality about our species. We are a complex mosaic. We did interbreed with the Neanderthals and the Denisovans, Our bloodlines are already chaos theory visualized. We do not need aliens or a lost species to explain the complexities in our blood. Evolutionary biology provides a clear, verifiable model. A rare genetic mutation, this time on the regulatory RHD gene, acting as a molecular patch, was already present in some of the Western hunter-gatherers. Under the intense nutritional and disease pressure of prehistory, individuals carrying this mutation were significantly more likely to survive because their aggressive antibodies acted as a biological shield against plagues and infections. The blank genetic slate was not given to them by aliens. It was forged in the antibody war of prehistory, a lethal biological sacrifice for adult survival. The Nephilim theory is fascinating historical and spiritual mythology, but the true story written in our DNA is far more complex, beautiful, and real. The mosaic of the divide. The story of the impossible DNA in Rh-negative blood shatters our neat, monolithic definition of race and identity. Humanity is not a solid canvas painted with a single brush. We are a messy, beautiful web of survival, chaotic migrations, random mutations, and biological compromise. For millennia, the first European trait to appear, the unique blank genetic slate, existed in a body that standard humanity tried to wipe out or reject. And the last defining trait, a high-functioning antibody-provoking immune system, appeared not as an error of nature, but as a brilliant biological hack to survive the nutritional disaster of agriculture and the viruses of global trade. It forces us to look in the biological mirror and completely rethink what we know about who we are. Are you Rh positive? Standard humanity, adapted to dilute foreign traits? Or are you Rh negative? The survival ghosts of prehistory, carrying a hyper-aggressive biological shield? The antibody divide in Rh negative blood is not a mistake, but it is a ghost story that is real. It reminds us that history is never a straight line. It is a messy, beautiful mosaic of survival. What do you think? Did the hyper-aggressive antibody theory surprise you? Or do you find the Nephilim connection still lingering in the dense scientific fog? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to continue uncovering the impossible truths hidden in our DNA, make sure to watch our documentary on the brutal tribe that wiped out early Europeans, or the ancient mysteries of Chinese DNA right here on the screen. I am Thomas, and this is Lost Origins. Keep exploring because the past is never truly lost. It's just waiting to be sequenced.